finally Ingredients was born about a year ago. And inception of the concept was it was going to be a beer and wine refill station. So we're thinking about, how many beer bottles and wine bottles do we go through, every day, every week. Beer and wine bottles are essentially put through the recycling stream. One of the things that we stressed even when we conceived the idea was reduce, reuse, then recycle. A lot of people hear that phrase and they're like, reduce, reuse, and recycle. So basically, yeah, we recycle, we're doing a good thing. But really, it's amazing how disposable our society is. Ingredients isn't an ideology, it's not a political movement, it's a movement to help our health and safety as a society, and hopefully we'll be doing that efficient. A lot of people ask how big our store is going to be, and we tell them, it's going to be 1,200 square feet, and they're like, my house is bigger than that. It is. By being smaller and being more dense and efficient, we can actually reduce the energy that we're consuming as a store. Just run really lean, really efficient. And Ingredients is not a new idea. It's a very old idea. It's just a new adaptation of it. Companies used to be responsible for their packaging, like milk bottles. It was a deposit-based system. You order milk, it gets delivered to your house. You give the bottle back empty. They take it back, they wash it, they fill it up with milk, and they bring it back to you. And they were responsible for their milk bottles. The same thing with Coca-Cola. It was a deposit-based system. You took a glass Coca-Cola bottle, you had it filled up, and you brought it back. Eventually, when the idea of disposable packaging that was plastic-based was conceived, the corporations were like, all right, it's going to be cheaper for us to manufacture plastic, and they're disposable, so we're not going to ask for that packaging back. It's going to go to the consumer's hands, so we're not responsible for, the packaging any longer. Like, it's up to the consumer what they do about the waste. And so the responsibility of waste is now in our hands. It's not in anyone else's hands. It's up to you and I to, deal with the waste that we generate. So Ingredients, in a large part, is trying to make that easy for people, because as it stands, it is not easy for you or I to reduce the packaging in our lives. It's not, and it's sometimes not easy for us to find all local products in one place. We would both probably love to get all of our food from farmers that we knew in Austin, around town, to know that my cereal actually came from so-and-so who's down the street, and my meat came from this guy over in Manor. But that's really hard to do, because right now you kind of have to just drive all over town to do that. In some cases you have to drive to the farm. Ingredients is trying to make it easier for people to eat well and support local vendors by having all of that in one place in our store. And also we're trying to facilitate the lifestyle that a lot of people are trying to live. We're going to be comparable to a supermarket in terms of different types of items. So we're going to have everything from meat and cheese to dairy to pet food to cosmetics to dry bulk to beer to wine to produce and household cleaners. In terms of selection of individual products, think light. Whereas in a grocery store you might go to the cereal aisle. You might see that for normal just granola, we'll have 17 options of granola, of what to get. I love granola, so I could stand there and look for a long time. Think 1 to 2, maybe 3 selections of one item. So if we have granola, you'll have 1 to 2 options. And we think that that's, just easier. And plus it fits our dense store model. We don't want to have, the more space that we're consuming as a store, the more energy we're consuming. So we want to keep it light, and that's a part of that, limiting your selection. So for beer and wine, and actually milk and cream, they'll be on tap. So you'll be able to take a bottle in and just done. And that's actually how our juice is going to be too. So think if it's a drink, if it's a liquid, or if it's an oil like olive oil or vinegar, it will be on tap. You'll be able to fill a bottle with it. There are certain foods that will require minimal packaging. That's necessary according to the law. So legally we have to provide minimal packaging on some items for food safety. Meat, in some cases, if it's fresh meat, it requires a thin layer of plastic at the bottom, and sometimes is required to be shrink wrapped if it's frozen. So that's an example where legally we have to do this. There's no other way. So we will be getting rid of all unnecessary and unrequired packaging. We definitely want to get the first store up and running and fix all the kinks while we can, but we hope to expand to a few other places in Austin first, and then probably to Houston or Dallas, and then wherever we go from there. We want ingredients. I mean, we realize that we're trying to spark a movement, a reality check for the food industry, thinking, think about what we're doing, and we want to further that idea wherever we can.